when William becomes king, he will be very much more modern, and I think he'll be much more the people's king.
Or even better, showed me what it meant to have both privilege and responsibilities.
When Prince William becomes king, many things will change. From the national anthem to British money, the traditions of the monarchy will also be different. His coronation will start a new chapter, adjusting the line of succession, changing royal responsibilities, and influencing how the public views the royal family. But how will his rule compare to past kings? And what exactly will change when he becomes king? Join us as we uncover the 20 biggest changes that will take place when Prince William takes the throne. Number 20. Monarch name. Selection. When a royal becomes king, they must choose a regnal name. Many assume Prince William will be King William V, but he can choose any name from his full title. Throughout history, some British monarchs have picked different names. For example, King George VI was born Albert Frederick Arthur George. His father, King George V, wanted continuity, so Albert chose George instead. Similarly, King Edward VIII was originally Albert Edward, but preferred Edward as king. Prince William's full name is William Arthur Philip Lewis, meaning he could choose Arthur or Philip. However, since 4 British kings have already been named William, he will likely continue the tradition as King William V. A regnal name is more than a personal choice. It symbolizes the monarchy's history and direction. Some kings choose names to honor past rulers, while others select names to mark a fresh start. Since William has always been known by his first name, it's unlikely he will change it. When William becomes king, will Kate Middleton's title also change to reflect her new role as the wife of the reigning monarch? Let's find out. Number 19. Kate's future royal title. Kate Middleton has had several royal titles since marrying Prince William, most famously as the Duchess of Cambridge. When William becomes king, her title will change again. She will be known as a queen, but not a ruling one, like Queen Elizabeth II. Instead, she will be Queen Consort, the title for the wife of a king. Unlike a ruling queen, she won't have political power but will support William and represent the royal family. This follows tradition. When Queen Elizabeth II married Prince Philip, he didn't become king because British law doesn't grant male consorts that title. Instead, he remained Prince Philip, Duke of Edinburgh. However, when a man becomes king, his wife is usually named Queen Consort, like Queen Mary and the Queen Mother. Kate will likely be called Queen Catherine, following past naming traditions. Though officially Queen Consort Catherine, she will commonly be referred to as Queen Catherine. Her role will include supporting William, attending state events, and continuing her charity work. While William's role comes with certain privileges, they are small compared to his larger responsibility of upholding royal traditions and leading the Church of England. Let's check it out. Number 18. Supreme Governor of the Church of England. The British monarch has been the head of the Church of England since the 16th century. As king, William holds this title, a tradition that dates back to King Henry VII. His duties include appointing senior church leaders, such as archbishops and bishops, based on the Prime Minister's advice. He is also expected to attend religious services and uphold the monarchy's historical ties to the Anglican Church. Although this role is mostly symbolic today, it remains an important part of the monarchy's identity. In the past, British rulers had to follow Protestant beliefs strictly and were not allowed to marry Catholics. However, changes in succession laws now allow for more religious flexibility while keeping the monarchy's Anglican ties. William has shown a more inclusive view of faith, recognizing the religious diversity in the UK. As king, he may continue efforts to modernize the monarchy's relationship with different religious groups. His reign will also influence ongoing debates about the monarchy's future, as discussions about updating the institution continue to grow. Number 17. National Anthem change. When Prince William becomes king, one of the most noticeable changes will be the British national anthem, but this time, it won't actually change. Right now, the anthem is God Save the King, a revision made after Queen Elizabeth II passed away. The lyrics of the anthem have always changed based on whether a king or queen is ruling. However, since William will also be a king, the anthem will stay the same, making it the first time in British history that no update is needed during a royal transition. This tradition of modifying the lyrics goes back to the 18th century, when God Save the King first became popular. It has always been adjusted to honor the current monarch. When William's reign eventually ends and his son, Prince George, takes the throne, the anthem will still be God Save the King. While this continuity in the anthem is rare, a much more visible change will be seen in British currency. Let's take a look. Number 16. New currency. British money always features a portrait of the current monarch. Right now, King Charles III's image appears on all UK coins and banknotes.
And these are the lowest numbered notes of each denomination, so they all have 001.
However, when Prince William becomes king, the royal mint will start making new money with his face on it. This change doesn't happen instantly. After Queen Elizabeth II passed away, it took months before King Charles III's coins and notes were widely used. When William takes the throne, his currency will gradually replace older ones, though existing money will still be valid. A long-standing tradition dictates that each new monarch's portrait faces the opposite direction of their predecessor. Since King Charles III's image faces right, William's will face left. The Bank of England and the Royal Mint will carefully manage the transition, ensuring a smooth changeover. As William's image appears on money, it will reinforce his role as Britain's leader. However, his influence will go beyond currency, shaping government and public life in significant ways. Number 15. Accession Council and Proclamation. One of the first official steps after a monarch passes away is the meeting of the Accession Council. This group is responsible for officially declaring the new king. It includes senior government officials, members of the Privy Council, and important figures from across the Commonwealth. The Accession Council gathers at St. James's Palace in London, where the new monarch is formally announced.
The Prime Minister, the Clerk of the Council, shall wait on the King and inform him the Council is assembled.
This tradition has been followed for centuries and happens before the coronation to ensure a smooth transfer of power. During the ceremony, an official statement is read out, declaring the new ruler. This announcement is then repeated across the country, including at the Royal Exchange in London, so the public is informed. Once William is officially declared king, he must take a solemn oath, promising to uphold the country's laws and leadership. This is his first major public act as monarch. However, his reign is not fully confirmed until he takes part in one of the most symbolic and historic royal events, the coronation. Number 14. Coronation Tradition. A coronation is the most important event when a new king or queen takes the throne. It is a grand ceremony where the monarch is officially crowned and blessed, marking the official start of their rule. This tradition has been followed for nearly 1,000 years, with every British ruler since William the Conqueror being crowned at Westminster Abbey. Queen Elizabeth II's coronation in 1953 was one of the most lavish in history, lasting over 3 hours and attended by more than 8,000 guests. It was also the first coronation to be televised, allowing millions of people around the world to watch the event. While the key traditions of the coronation remain the same, William's ceremony is expected to be more modern and reflect today's Britain. A coronation is not just a religious event, it is also a state occasion that strengthens the link between the monarchy and the government. Once William is crowned, his reign will officially begin. Number 13. British mourning traditions. In Britain, a new king does not take the throne immediately. Instead, there is a solemn period of mourning that lasts for about 10 to 12 days after the previous monarch passes away. During this mourning period, normal life slows down. Many public events are cancelled, flags are lowered to half-mast, and the nation enters a reflective state. The same solemn customs will take place when King Charles III's reign eventually comes to an end. Television channels, including the BBC, will change their schedules, replacing entertainment programs with respectful tributes and news coverage. News presenters will wear black clothing as a symbol of mourning, and a series of official ceremonies will take place to formally acknowledge the transition to a new ruler. This period of remembrance leads to one of the most important moments in history, the official proclamation of the next king. When that time comes, Prince William will be declared the new monarch in a highly significant and symbolic event, marking the beginning of his reign. Number 12. Prince George's future role. When Prince William becomes king, his eldest son, Prince George, will immediately become the heir to the throne, just as William did when King Charles III took the crown. Traditionally, heirs to the throne are given the title of Prince of Wales, but this isn't automatic. It must be granted by the reigning monarch. If William follows tradition, he will likely give George this title, just as King Charles III did for him after Queen Elizabeth II passed. Prince George's life will now be carefully planned to prepare him for his future as king. Though he is still a child, he will gradually take on more public duties and participate in royal events. Over time, his responsibilities will grow, much like William's did under Queen Elizabeth II's guidance. Meanwhile, William's other children will also see changes in their positions in the line of succession. However, due to updated succession laws, Princess Charlotte will keep her place, even though she has a younger brother. Number 11. Succession law. For many years, British succession laws followed a rule called male primogeniture. This meant that younger sons were placed ahead of older daughters in the line of succession. As a result, many women in history were passed over for the throne in favor of their male relatives. However, in 2013, the Succession to the Crown Act changed this. Under the new law, gender no longer affects succession rights. This ensures that Princess Charlotte, Prince William's second child, remains second in line to the throne, even though she has a younger brother, Prince Louis. Before this change, Louis would have been placed ahead of Charlotte simply because he is male. Now birth order is the deciding factor, securing Charlotte's position. This update modernizes the monarchy, making it fairer and more aligned with today's values. With King William, the Fifth's immediate family's positions now clear. Other transitions, like updates to national symbols such as the anthem and currency, will also take place. Number 10. Queen's funeral and transition. Queen Elizabeth II's funeral set an example for how the country honors a monarch's passing.
We, of course, heard the news today that Queen Elizabeth had passed away, aged 96.
It was one of the most watched events in modern history, with millions of people around the world tuning in. When King Charles III eventually passes away, a state funeral will be held for him, just like it was for his mother. The funeral will take place at Westminster Abbey, bringing together world leaders, important guests, and the royal family. Every part of the ceremony will be carefully planned, following traditions that have been in place for centuries, highlighting the significance of the moment in British history. This event will also play a major role in Prince William's transition to the throne, as it will be the last major event of his father's reign. Once the funeral ends, the focus will shift to officially recognizing William as the new king. At this stage, the Accession Council will take over to carry out the formal process of the royal transition. But will William's coronation differ from past ones? Let's take a closer look. Number 9. William's coronation expectations. Prince William's coronation will mark the official start of his time as king. Although many of the traditions go back hundreds of years, his ceremony is expected to be more modern than past coronations. For example, King Charles III's coronation was much simpler than Queen Elizabeth II's, reflecting a shift toward a more updated monarchy. The event will take place at Westminster Abbey, just as it has for British monarchs since the 11th century. During the ceremony, William will be anointed with holy oil, a ritual meant to show that his reign has divine approval. He will then receive important royal symbols, including the sovereign's orb, the scepter with the cross, and the imperial state crown. A key part of the ceremony is when William takes an oath, promising to follow the laws of the United Kingdom and rule according to the country's constitution.
I, William, Prince of Wales, pledge my loyalty to you, faith and truth I will bear unto you.
Once the crown is placed on William's head, he will officially be recognized as the king. But beyond the grand traditions of the coronation, what will his role as monarch truly involve? Let's find out. Number 8. Head of State. As king, William will be the head of state for the United Kingdom and several Commonwealth nations. However, unlike past kings and queens, his role will mostly be symbolic. The UK is a constitutional monarchy, which means that while he holds an important title, he won't have real political power like monarchs did in the past. One of his biggest responsibilities will be bringing people together and representing national traditions and stability. William will take part in various ceremonies, such as opening Parliament, signing important state documents, and representing Britain on international visits. In times of crisis, he will play a key role in reassuring the public, much like Queen Elizabeth II did during wars and economic hardships. Although William won't be involved in daily government decisions, he will meet regularly with the Prime Minister to offer advice and discuss important matters. These private meetings have been a royal tradition for many years. While he wouldn't have direct power, his presence would still influence British politics. Beyond Britain, his role will also be important in the Commonwealth. Number 7. The King's role in governance. Although the British monarchy no longer has direct political power, the King still plays an important role in governance. One of William's main duties will be to meet regularly with the Prime Minister to discuss national matters.
Jamaica is very free and liberal, very expressive. I'm certain that you would have seen the spectrum of expressions.
These meetings are private, allowing the King to share his thoughts without directly influencing decisions. The King also formally appoints the Prime Minister, but this is mostly symbolic since the leader of the party with the most seats in Parliament is automatically chosen. Another key duty is the state opening of Parliament, where the King delivers the King's speech, outlining the government's plans for the year, though the speech is written by the Prime Minister and their team. Beyond politics, the King represents Britain in diplomatic events, attending Commonwealth meetings and meeting foreign leaders. Despite these responsibilities, his role is mostly advisory rather than governing. However, his daily schedule will still be packed with events and duties that extend beyond government matters. Number 6. No driver's license. No passport. One of the special privileges of being king is that William will no longer need a passport or a driver's license. In the UK, all passports are issued in the name of the ruling monarch, so the king, as the official issuer, doesn't need one himself. This has been the case for past monarchs, including Queen Elizabeth II and King Charles III, who traveled internationally without passports. Similarly, the king doesn't need a driver's license. Queen Elizabeth II, despite never having one, often drove at her private estates and had experience as a mechanic and driver during World War II. While William won't be legally required to have a license, he may still choose to drive in private settings. However, for official events, he will be chauffeured, as is tradition for the royal family. Number 5. Moving to Buckingham Palace. One of the biggest changes for William and his family will be moving to Buckingham Palace. Right now, he and Kate Middleton live at Kensington Palace, but the official home of the ruling monarch is Buckingham Palace, located in central London. This historic building has been the residence of British kings and queens since the 19th century and is used for important events, official meetings, and royal gatherings. With over 700 rooms, including grand halls, private apartments, and offices, Buckingham Palace is more than just a home. It is the center of the British monarchy. Unlike their current home, which offers more privacy, Buckingham Palace is a busy place with constant public and official activities. While Buckingham Palace represents tradition, William may introduce modern changes, just as past monarchs have done. However, one tradition that will likely continue is the King's annual broadcast. a key part of the monarchy's public presence. Let's explore. Number 4. Royal Christmas broadcast. One of the oldest traditions of the British monarchy is the annual Christmas speech, first given by King George V in 1932. This speech allows the king or queen to speak directly to the public, sharing thoughts on the past year and a message of unity and hope. It is broadcast across the UK and Commonwealth nations. Queen Elizabeth II upheld this tradition for 70 years, and King Charles III has continued it. When Prince William becomes king, he will take on this role, likely emphasizing service, family, and national identity, values he has always supported. Given his modern approach, he might update the format, possibly using social media to reach younger audiences. However, the speech's purpose will remain the same: a personal message from the monarch to strengthen the bond between the royal family and the people. Number 3. Modernizing British Monarchy. As society changes, so does the role of the British monarchy. In recent years, there has been more talk about updating the institution to better match modern values. When Prince William becomes king, he will likely have to find a balance between keeping traditions and making changes to ensure the monarchy stays relevant in today's world. One key change being considered is having a smaller, more focused royal family. King Charles III has already started this by reducing the number of working royals and concentrating on the main family members. William may continue this approach, making the monarchy more efficient and cost-effective while still maintaining its public role. People's expectations of the royal family have also evolved. There is now a stronger demand for openness, accessibility, and more direct interaction with the public. William's leadership may reflect these changes by increasing communication with people and using digital platforms more to stay connected. Despite these possible updates, the monarchy remains a long-standing institution with deep traditions. While William may introduce some adjustments, many of the customs that define the British royal family will likely remain. Number 2. Harry's royal future. Prince Harry's relationship with the royal family has changed a lot in recent years. After stepping down as a senior royal in 2020, he moved to the United States with his wife, Meghan Markle. Since then, he has stayed away from royal duties, leading to questions about what role, if any, he will have in the future, especially when his brother, Prince William, becomes king. Even though Harry is still in the line of succession, he is now much further down due to the birth of William's children. Because he is no longer an active royal, he has taken on very few official responsibilities. When William became king, it is uncertain whether Harry had any formal role in the monarchy. One possibility is that William might offer him a position within the royal family if things change. On the other hand, Harry may continue living independently, focusing on his charity work and personal projects. Number 1. King William, the Fifth Reign. As Prince William takes on the role of king, his reign will bring both stability and change to the British monarchy. From updates to national symbols to modernizing royal traditions, his leadership will shape the monarchy's future in a time of shifting expectations. Key aspects of his rule will include preserving the monarchy's official role, representing Britain internationally, and adapting to the needs of today's society. While he will honor long-standing traditions, he may also introduce changes that reflect modern values and public opinion. Some challenges he may face include debates about the monarchy's relevance, political and social changes, and maintaining a strong bond between the royal family and the people. How well he balances these challenges will shape his legacy. What do you think William's reign will look like? Let us know your answer in the comments section. Don't forget to like and subscribe.